Welcome to In the Studio with Dennis Sheehan.
Hey, am I even in this? Hold on. Let's try that one. Hi everyone, welcome to In the Studio. I'm Dennis Sheehan. So, today we have a little painting, 16 by 20. I laid out my palette. I've gone over the colors before a couple times, so you all ought to know the colors. I just used my old big brush here and just took some scrap paint, gave the canvas a little stain, just random tones, mid-range. I can work up lights, I can go to darks, I can start with straight paint if I want. For instance, I could put on some straight paint over that, because with the chirp it kind of sets up quickly. Or I can also, instead of just putting paint on, I could get a few indications of what the composition might be by just wiping off some of the paint, like that. So there's a number of ways you can go. Wiping off, putting on, but it's really kind of setting up really quick, so I guess the idea is to just cover the painting with fresh paint. So without further delay, let's just do that. Today I'm just going to try some darks first. At this point in this stage of the game for me, I can start with light colors, dark colors, mid-range colors, and I can work back and forth. Right now it doesn't matter because I've done so many thousands of these paintings. We're going to have a beautiful evening sunset here with some trees in the corner. This is just red. Whoops, whoops. Chirp down. No. Oil, actually. Let me get that oil back up there. I do kind of forget, I'm not used to holding a palette, let's just put it that way. So we'll use that oil into the dark. Just red and green right now, the beginning. Nice trees going up. Come on now, stop the dripping. As you know, I like artists of various tonal painters from the 19th century, the likes of Bruce Crane, Wyant, Murphy, Bolton Jones. Of course, we love George Innes. So I'm going to mix up this over here. I'm going to put some severs together here with white, mix it in with some red, violet-y, put a little more white into it. I'm going to go up into the sky, and just for the heck of it, put in that nice blue-gray. Don't cover it over like you're painting walls. Keep a lot of areas of just unmixed tones. It's a lot more interesting to have paint unmixed than mixed. And the more interest you can create, the more people will stay looking at your painting. So let's put in a little brighter tone. Bring it down here a little bit. I'll leave that yellow and work around it. So I'm going to mix up a little more of that evening shade, which is kind of orangey. yellow, orange, white. Up into the night sky, I'll call it. Let's go to the horizon line, and let's get a little bit of violet. Keep forgetting that you need to see my palette here. So we'll take some reds and blues. And of course, to neutralize violet, what do you put into it? Put a little yellow in there. Let's just put that in there like distance. The distance. Maybe there's some trees over here. Maybe there's a tree up here. Now the violet again, I'm going to put a little more red into it and bring some of that paint over to this yellow area to dull it down a bit. I'm going to even put a little bit of the green into it. So I'm going to paint around my tree shapes and bring this into the sun setting area where the skies are much brighter and not cloudy all day. Bring it right across. There. Get a little more violet into that. And pick up the negative spaces between the trees. So it's darker here, brighter over here. And we have to think about if we're going to have some water out here somewhere. So let me get that bright-ish light up here, and we're going to put some water in the center of that field out there. How's that? Let's get some greens. I'm going to try a little bit of blue-green on this one. So yellow, Severs blue, keep it cool. I'm going to put that in out here. I'm going to need a new brush because that brush is getting kind of polluted. Let's go back to that color again. We want a blue-green. Try that. Kind of tie it in together with the distance so the field goes back. Now let's ochre that up a bit. So we'll take that green, which is cool. We'll put a little more orangey yellow into it. We'll ochre it up and lighten it up. Like that color there. Sometimes you can keep the underneath tone showing through. Light tone, the tannish color that I have there. Let's go back and put a little stronger green, permanent green light over here. I just dance the brush. See the brush? I'm wiggling it up and down. That's grassy. That's how the grasses grow. Now let's get a small brush. And I'm getting paint. I'm leaking all over the place here. Oil. There. Okay, let's get a dark. I'm going to edge that little pond here. It's not even a pond, it's a swale. Everybody know what a swale is? Leftover water from a rain. Alright? Might even add a little red to that green, or orangey it up a little so it's not so black. Now let me get the green brush back. Let's get that olive green back. Keep some of the darks on this side of the swale too. Some grasses. I don't want to get it too dark in the middle there. Kind of like that. I'm going to go back to the sky over here and I'm going to pull out some lights. So I'm going to get that violet back. The blue and red. I'm going to go back in here and try to brighten up a few of the areas with that same tone. Just a little too dull over here. Like that. There. In between these trees I already drew. As they go up, they lose their darkness. Oh, there's my phone ringing, of course. It's okay. Well, we're almost done here, folks. Let's go back in with a little dark, actually a little lighter. Why am I still dripping a ton of oil on my palette here? Let's go back in and redraw some of these branches that I have. Lighten up a little bit. I don't want them too dark up at the top. And some more coming up here. Get another dimension in. Maybe a little bit of color on those dark trees. How about some green? Let's put some dark green in here. So it's going to be dull to dark green with a little yellowy orange in it. Whoop. Might as well show you. Orange and red into the green. And we want to give it a color in the middle here instead of just black. So, at the very top or the outside edge of that tree, those tree masses there, I'm going to put a little russet. So I'm going to mix up an orangey red into that greenish mix. I'm just going to feather in out on the outer edges a little more of that russet tone of autumn. And on these little wispy trees here, and up in the end here. Well, I think that's about it, folks. Why don't I take a little bit of brightness here in the very center of the sky, kind of the very center of the painting, close to the center of the painting actually. So I'm going to mix up a brighter sunset tone with my yellows and orange, like that. And I'm going to pop that in here. Yellowy orange, like that. I trowel it in, and then I refine it. between the trees. You make a mistake, you just scrape it off. Now if that's too bright, I take a larger knife and I kind of just feather over it. Like that. Then I can take a little more of that and show that it reflects. It's a little more orangey here. It reflects into the water, so I'm going to put one little touch of it, that same orange tone, just in here, just a touch. Only a little bit there. And that's it. We have a 1620 evening across the field with a little swale, leftover water. Thanks for joining me in the studio. I'll see you next time.